Howdy.
Okay. So this is our very first Everyone Dice one shot. We're super excited about, finally showcasing role-playing games like for a hot second here. So today we're going to be playing Wanderhome, which I'm sure you all can tell from the overlay. And Wanderhome is a pastoral role-playing game about traveling animals, the world they inhabit, and the way it's It is on Kickstarter right now. It is way more than funded. It's absolutely fantastic. But you should absolutely go to Kickstarter, and from September 3rd, if you haven't backed it, consider backing it.
Sorry to interrupt. Basically, the music is a bit loud.
Okay. There we go.
How's that, everyone?
There are a lot of people. Whoops.
There we go.
I have too many screens. It's hard for me to track chat and be looking at
no worries.
people.
I got
Anyway,
you.
so
Continue.
as I was saying, go check out Wanderhome on Kickstarter if you haven't already. It's really cool. Kickstarter ends on September 3rd, and you should absolutely consider backing it if you have not yet backed it. We also have a couple of credits to make. The art that we used for the overlay, the top bar and bottom bar, are the cover art for Wanderhome, drawn by Sylvia B., who is Rowatry on Twitter, Rowwatree. The art, our character art, was made by Jake, who is an absolute delight of a human being. I love him. I've known him for 5 years. He is on Twitter as Jake T, with 2 A's, so JakeTeaa. And he's also in our Discord server. Feel free to scroll down a little bit and join our Discord server if y'all want to keep up with future indie TTRPG one-shots. And then the music we are using is the song Fly by Alex Rowe. He has graciously given us permission to use his music for our streams. Yeah, that's about all the announcements about credits. We also want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor. CRP and Everyone Dice are sponsored by Grinding Coffee, which is a black queer-owned business. If you drink coffee, or even if you don't and you just want to support a couple queer-owned businesses, because they sell more than just coffee, you should definitely look at Grinding Coffee. We have an affiliate link that I'm going to ask KC to drop in the chat real quick here.
Right now.
If you use the affiliate link, if you purchase through the affiliate link, you'll be supporting not one but 2 queer-owned businesses. You get a discount, we get a commission. And our affiliate link is Compass Rose Pro. So yeah, let's jump into some quick personal introductions. My name is Scott. I'm your friendly local native, two-spirit, transmask. I don't know. I'm a nerd. I write. I kind of draw. I play tabletop games. We're gonna jump to AJ.
Hi, my name is AJ. I played tabletop games. I didn't have this prepared. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm kind of in between genders right now. So yeah, I use they them pronouns, and I'm gonna be playing Anemone, the blind Olm Firelake.
Casey.
Hello. I'm KC. I am regular storyteller for Everyone Dice's weekly game. I also am a professional writer. You can see some of my work on Black Hole Comics and Entertainment, a couple of short stories there, and my comic work in Cloudscape's Life Finds a Way anthology, and potentially more in the future. I'm very excited to get into Wanderhome. Oh, Scotty, you're so sweet.
It's right over
We're-
here for easy access.
Oh, you're the best. I need to sign that for you. You distracted me. I'm excited to get into the game. Also, I use they, them pronouns, non-binary. Yeah, sort of similar to AJ, kind of figuring shit out. I'm going to be playing Cole the Ragamuffin.
That leaves me then. Logan, he, him pronouns, queer trans man, tabletop player, writer, runner. And I'll be playing Dan Tholomew, the turtle frog caretaker.
I had a lot of hell arranging Dan Tholomew's name on our material because it's so long. And I did not mention my pronouns. I use he, him. And I will be playing Quioweedle, the coyote moth tender. So, we should jump into talking through our playbooks real quick. I wanted to go over we've already done character creation, for the most part. The only thing we didn't do was ask the questions.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go through character creation so that everyone can see what it's like. I've got my lovely character sheet right here. So I will go ahead and start first.
Wow. I'm the only one who didn't print off their sheet. I wrote it in a notebook.
I mean, you don't have to print off a sheet. As long as you've got your
Well, now I'm the
materials
odd
and you can
person out.
access them. My printer's right here, so it's real easy for me to get to. So, choose name and pronouns, Quioweedle, he, him. Animal, my options were bat, horse, pigeon, rabbit, a persistent animal, or a dogged animal. So I went with persistent because coyotes are adaptable and they keep going no matter what. I love coyotes. Choose 2 you are and 2 you are not. The 2 I am are calm and curious, and the 2 I'm not are proper and feminine. Choose 3 to 4 to describe your look. I have satchels full of papers, a brass spyglass, a lunar calendar, and ink-stained gloves. And then I've got my packages. I get 3 letters or packages that I'm carrying and where they're going. I have a summons from the King of the Floating Mountain for the proper mayor of a hidden village. I have a basket of homemade candies for a cheerful young rabbit who just moved to the big city. And I have a terrified kid escaping from a bad situation for a shrewish and witchy crone deep in the Miremurk Swamp. And lastly, I've got 2 things I carry with me at all times, and I'm supposed to tell y'all about them. So I have a walking song taught to me by an adventurous buddy I used to travel with, and I have the ring on my finger matched by my confident fiancé back home. The adventurous buddy and the confident fiancé, surprise, surprise, are one and the same. So, basically, where's the card? Ernan is a wolf, and we met as hapless wanderers on the road, traveling wherever the wind would take us. Happened to fall in together and bond. Well, fell in love. Found a place that we wanted to stop and settle down, and I signed on to help the tower there with the moths and everything, but my wanderlust didn't quite go away, so I'm still traveling sometimes. The day that I left this last time, we got engaged, and that's why I have the ring now. We're gonna get married as soon as I'm back home again.
Adorable.
It's great. Who would like to go next? And then we'll run through questions after we finish the other playbook stuff.
I'll go next. Let me just bring up my playbook. Okay. So, I am a ragamuffin. My name and pronouns, Cole, Kohl. I went with she, they pronouns. Choose an animal. My options were otter, gecko, capuchin, kitten, a cute animal, or a young animal. I went with raccoon because I find raccoons adorable, so a cute animal. The 2 things that I am are friendly and adorable. The two things I am not are scared and a boy. The three ways I chose to describe myself are: I carry a wooden sword, I have these multicolored rainbow suspenders, I've got grass and dirt stained jeans, and as you can see in my character art, I wear a beautiful flower crown. There are some options here that I was given for 2 life lessons I've learned, 2 I've been taught, and 2 I've rejected. The 2 I've learned are that kindness is stronger than anything else, and the world is bigger than you can wrap your head around. The 2 lessons I've rejected are everything must someday die, and even this will end. And that is tied into sort of some last minute stuff I came up with Cole. There are 2 things that I carry. One I carry openly, which is the Heaven Blade, thought lost after being used to slay the slobbering god. And the thing I carry in secret is a dragon's egg.
Who's next?
I can
Yep,
go.
I'll go.
Oh, we'll go at the same time.
Clearly, that'll work.
You can go. I'll go last.
Okay, I'll go. Cool. Yeah, so I'm playing Dan Tholomew. He, him pronouns. The Turtle Frog caretaker. I watched One Shot RPG. Did a one shot of Wanderhome a little while ago, and someone on there mentioned a turtle frog and encouraged everyone watching to look it up. And it's just this hella buff frog. It's hilarious. So of course, I vowed then and there to play a turtle frog when we played together on Everyone Dice. Yeah, so that's Dan Tholomew. So I kind of ignored the choose an animal section because I was so set in my ways.
Solid.
So I choose 2 that I value being and 2 that I find exhausting. I value being gentle and reflective, and I find exhausting being careworn and expressive. Choose 3 to 4 to describe your look. I chose a scratchy cloak, wind chimes, and sketch-covered paper. Then as the caretaker, I have up to 5 friends that hide in the many shrines that I carry with me. So I chose 5 because the more the merrier. So I have with me Dulcet, a god of tiny melodies. They are dramatic, and they play in my wind chimes. So there's always kind of a song that follows me wherever I go. I have Aya, a god of a misplaced kiss. They are glamorous, and they manifest as this sort of dancing sentient flame around my left hand. I have Wick, a candle god. They are passionate and luminescent, and I imagine Wick is a candle that just lives on my shoulder. Word, a god of a mossy boulder. They are resolute and mighty. And I like to think Dan Tholomew just strapped a boulder to his head. And just that's why he has really thick neck muscles. He just carries this boulder on his head, and I think the boulder both is and houses Word. So it's a bit of both there. And then finally, I have a family of sapling gods who are raucous and intertwined, and they've kind of grown into my cloak. So anytime I open my cloak, you can see there's vines and stuff growing in around it. Then I choose. Cool. Thanks, Casey. I choose 1 ceremonial object that I carry with me and tell the table about it. I carry a rock with a hole worn in it, gifted by a strange and invisible creature who has watched over me all my life. Which I think that creature is what first awakened me to the small and forgotten gods and sort of opened my eyes into the things that people overlook, things that other people consider invisible. And I wear that sort of stone like around my neck.
Dantholomew does sound like a gentle himbo. The chat has a good take on Dantholomew.
So I guess I'm up now, and I feel an immense pressure to follow up all of your great characters.
Anemone's great, I love them.
So I am playing Anemone, who is the Olm Firelight. If you guys don't know what an Olm is, it's basically a long axolotl. So they're really cool. They don't have any eyes. So Anemone is completely blind. She does not have eyes. I could have chosen from a raccoon, an Olm, a deer, a Sphinx cat, so one of those like hairless cats, a nocturnal animal, or a steady animal, and it was a very tough pick between the Sphinx cat and the Olm, but like I'm Ace, and axolotls are kind of like the Ace mascot, so I was like, I can't pass that up. So, two things that I always try to be, positive and patient. And the two things I know I can't be are discerning and enough. So she is sort of wearing this long cloak that covers up, or sorry, I said she, they. I mess up my own character's pronouns from time to time, but that's fine. They are wearing this long cloak that covers up over their eyes and hangs over their eyes. Because one of the things I could have chosen from was a hat, a big floppy hat that covers over their eyes. But I was like, what about a cloak that just covers them? They are wearing comfortable looking boots and gloves, and they're also carrying a very tall wooden staff that has a lantern hanging off of that, but I will go into that in a little bit, as well as a box of medical supplies. They also have a firefly companion on their shoulder most of the time, but sometimes just floating around. They are caring and honest, as well as they sort of watched over me as I was a kid, and they are considered miraculous. On the top of my staff is an ornate bronze oil lamp. And it is always lit at all times. I never let it go out. And attached on a sort of like crossbody strap, there is an iron lantern. It is not lit, but it is just sort of hanging off of my waist, sort of as like a memento. Let's see. That is about it, I think. Yeah. Me and my firefly grew up together, and they've watched over me since I was a child. They're sort of like my service animal, sort of.
All right. So, we each have an ask one to the left and one to the right. I figure we don't really have a left and right, but we sure do have a nice square, so we can, ask whoever is above or below us and whoever's beside us. So I will go ahead and start with asking Logan, what is it about my job that so appeals to you?
You have all, so you're the
Moth tender.
Moth tender? So
Yes.
do you have like a little flock of moths that they like carry all your packages?
I don't think it's that I have the moths. It's that I tend to the moths as they're traveling with other packages. I happen to also carry packages.
I see. Cool. All right. Well, I feel like you've got, this relationship, this affinity with all these moths that you come by, and you just get along with them so easily. And you just got like all these friends, and I feel like that's really cool. I appreciate, I have all these friends that I carry with me, and you have all these friends that you sort of pass and travel, and I think that really appeals to me, having friends both near and far that you can just always catch up with.
Alright, do you want to go ahead and ask AJ a question? And then we'll just go around and then reverse the other direction.
Oh, that sounds good. Cool. AJ. Okay. Yeah, for AJ. Which of my small and forgotten gods did you rescue and give to me?
Oh. I have to be, I think, probably the candle on your shoulder, because it goes along with the firelight aesthetic, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know exactly why, because I think it just they just saw this this light, and they said, we need this light in our group, and we need this light. We need to take care of this light.
Oh yeah, thanks.
So I'm gonna ask KC. There's some good options here. Okay. Why does my firefly like you so much?
It's because I always have candy of some kind. Whether it's in a pocket or hidden somewhere, tucked underneath, one of my suspenders or something, I've always got candy.
I love that. And I love the idea that, like, Anemone can't see that you're feeding their firefly. And the firefly obviously is not going to tell Anemone that they're being fed snacks.
All right. Scotty. What do I do? What does Cole do that really, truly, next level gets on your nerves?
Oh, okay, so I was actually thinking about this since I happen to have a kid with me right now. You get Fran in trouble. Fran is this little cacomistle. It's cute little native Mexican animal. Hi, I like Mexican animals. Go figure. So Fran is this cute little cacomistle child who I kind of saved them from a bad situation, and I'm taking them to an old buddy that I met on my first adventures with Anon. And Cole, you need to stop getting Fran into dangerous situations. I am trying to keep them safe and alive so that they can get to their new home where they are going to be cared for and taught the things that they want to learn. Please stop getting them almost killed.
No.
But on that note, going around the other direction, oh man, I'm so jealous. AJ gets tacos?
I want tacos.
I had tacos last night. Anyway, Cole, why did I risk my job and career to help you?
Because you're a really kind person, and you don't like seeing people put themselves into danger. Some would say needlessly, and that's Cole's whole thing.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Yeah.
So, again, we're just gonna go back around the other direction. So, KC, your turn to ask AJ a question.
This is okay. Sorry, I thought we were right. Let's see here.
We could then go diagonal too.
I mean, yeah, we
So
could
that everybody
ask one more
could
question.
ask. Yeah.
I have to pick another question. Shit.
Okay. It's Anemone, right? Anemone. What went wrong the last time I dragged you on a misadventure?
That is a good question. I think Anemone probably got lost. Somehow, because of the snack thing, you separated Anemone and their firefly companion, and you had to go find them. And they weren't in any danger or anything like that. They were just wandering around the town. But it was a little scary because how do you find them? They're quiet. They keep to themselves. What are you gonna do if you can't find them?
That is so sweet.
Logan. Let's see here. What did I show you that you didn't want to see?
That's a good question. Props to Jay. What did you show me that I didn't want to see? I think maybe you showed me. Maybe we came across another sort of caretaker or something. I think what you showed me was that sometimes the small and forgotten gods, they leave, they go off and do their own things, explore the world in their own ways. And I think I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to think about any of my little friends leaving me.
I like that.
So, you all good, Scotty?
Sorry, I forgot to shut off a couple of the things that give me pop-ups on my main screen. So, I had to fix that real quick.
Well, it gives me time to decide what question I'm going to ask you. Alright, for Queer Weedle, what is something I knew about you that I had no right to know about you?
I think probably what you know is that Queerweedle's kind of tired of traveling, but feels like he can't stop. It's who he is. And he doesn't really want to share that information with anyone, but there it is. He's tired.
Interesting. Thank you.
Alright. Sorry, I needed more tea.
No worries.
So, I've got one last question to ask then, for Anemone. And interpret this question freely, because obviously it's not going to work out literally. Do you think the moths are as beautiful as I do?
That's an interesting question, because Anemone can't see them.
Exactly. Like I said, it won't work out literally.
Yeah.
Interpret it freely.
I think, in a way, they do think that moths are as beautiful as you think they are. I feel like she gets a good sense of, or they get a good sense of, like somebody's, I don't want to say aura, but like their like personality and the vibes they give off. And I think they get a good sense of very beautiful and just good vibes off of those moths. And because of that, they know that they are, I don't know what to say other than beautiful.
Valid.
I guess I will ask Scotty. Wait a second. Where do you wish I could guide you, and why can't I?
I think Queerweedle wants to be guided home, but you can't because you don't know that's where he wants to go.
That's fair, yeah. I feel really bad for Queerweedle.
He's a happy enough dude. He's just kind of tired.
He's just a tired old man.
Tired, scraggly,
days.
scruffy old ex-adventurer.
2 days left till retirement.
Oh no, you're making it sound like Fran and Cole are gonna get him killed.
Just saying. All right. I will ask Dantholomew a question. Dantholomew, how do you feel about the fact that I've decided you're my new parent?
I think I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about it. I reckon this is a great opportunity for us to be buds. I don't think necessarily that Dan Tholomew thinks about like the responsibility of it in the same way as others might, because he has this responsibility, you know, to these small forgotten gods that are. They don't. I mean, like he takes care of them, but they're also very capable. In and of themselves, and so I think he just assumes the same of you, and that you know, they're good, they're fine, and I'll just, you know, when they need me, I'll be here and I'll help out. But is maybe not as watchful as he should be. But yeah, I think he's excited about it. And now I ask you a question. Which I think is perfect for the ragamuffin. What do you know about the world that I don't?
I know that there's still a lot of magic left in the world when people think that it's gone.
I dig it. Nice.
Alright. So, since we've finished up with our character questions, we can now...
Do we want to go through the things that each of our playbooks can always do?
Oh,
that can be fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. So, some things the Moth Tender can always do. Write something down on a piece of paper. Tell everyone what phase the moon is in right now. Follow the moths. Fidget. Say, I have a letter for you. And get a token, or whoever I have a letter for gets a token if they accept the letter. And ask, have you heard the news?
Some things that the ragamuffin can always do. I can get distracted. I can get really invested in a new interest. I can blurt out a secret. Somehow manage to squeeze myself out of trouble. I can ask, do you want to hang out with me? And whoever I ask gets a token if they say yes. I can ask, do you want to see something really cool? And whoever I ask gets a token if they say yes.
Some things that a firelight can do are pet my firefly, notice the time of day, illuminate something in darkness, keep walking, say watch your step, or ask, do you need a hand? And if they accept, they get a token.
Nice. Some things that I, as a caretaker, can always do are pause, tilt my head to the side, and keep going. Say something in silence better than words can. Notice a little friend everyone else overlooked. Play with one of my gods. Say, hush, listen. And ask, can you hear that?
Real quick, since we do have a Kith traveling with us actively, I want to go over what what I set up for Fran. Fran uses they them pronouns. Their traits are inquisitive and quiet, and since they are inquisitive, they can always ask, "What's this?" Since they're quiet, they can always stare at someone until they get the point. So if at any point any of us wants to use Fran, those are the things Fran can do.
We didn't mention, we're actually playing this GM-less.
Yes, we are exploring playing this GM-less, which is going to be interesting. I've only done a GM-less game one other time. That was with Logan. So.
Yeah, this game does have the option to run it with a GM, but we thought it would be cool if we showed off a GM-less game because there aren't many of them.
Yeah.
And it's exciting.
Not every group always has someone who's ready to run a game. It can be a lot easier for some people to, collaborate on that instead. So here we are. All right. So, we've got everybody's things you can always do. The first steps have a set of questions. How long are we expecting the journey to last, if we have any expectations at all? Do we want a pastoral and upbeat journey, or a world that lingers more heavily on trauma and recovery? Do we want a more personal journey, focused on mundane issues and quandaries, or do we want a heavier journey filled with mysterious and magical forces? Do we want a single person to act as a guide, multiple rotating guides, or no guide at all? And is there anything else that might come up that we want to watch out for? Most of these things we kind of went over as we were planning this one-shot. We're going guideless. We didn't really come into this with any real ideas for story beyond what our playbooks might give us. And I picked the child specifically so that it would give us a good jumping off point if we wanted to pursue that. So I want something pastoral and upbeat. I would really like to have something joyful, as we're still living in the very, very difficult year of 2020.
This year. Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, same. I'm down for that. And also, like the sort of more intimate, emotional
Personal
option there
journey,
as well.
mundane issues and quandaries.
Mm-hmm.
Valid. All right. So
Did we want to do lines and veils, like things we don't want to have come up?
That would definitely not be a bad option. It's also worth mentioning that there is, of course, the journeying tools page of the playbook, or not of the playbook, of the source book, which are also, like, the lines for them are laid out on each individual playbook as well. Let's do this instead. Do we want to? Where to next? What do you think? Hold on, no, and stepping away. And I have like a 4-hour-long rant on tabletop etiquette that every single person in this game has heard at least bits and pieces of from me.
Save it for the all-nighter, Scotty.
Yeah, I've quick background, I've been playing tabletop games for like a decade and a half, possibly longer. I've been playing them for over half my life. And I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on how games should be run in order to make sure that everyone is having fun. And, isn't hurt by the game you're playing. And I just really, really like that J-Dragon baked the journeying tools, this tabletop etiquette toolkit, into the rules of the game. That's I really like that. It makes me happy. So I'm not sure how much we need to go over necessarily. But if there's anything we don't want to get into.
I mean, as I have been playing with you, Scotty, and you, AJ, for a couple, 2 and a bit more years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. you both sort of know my lines and veils, but to put it out there, sexual violence, that kind of dark and edgy.
I don't
stuff.
want to get into anything super dark with this. This game just
Yeah.
feels light and fun. I want to have
This
some
game
light,
feels
fun time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this game always just struck me as something very wholesome. It's not meant for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get Game of Thrones up in here.
Let's keep it more My Neighbor Totoro and not Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially since we have a firefly with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just add that I don't want any, again, we sort of covered on no typically dark themes, but I would like no, grievous harm to come to any of the children
Yeah.
that are traveling with us.
Absolutely not gonna have that happen.
Considering that some of us might actually be children in this game, yeah, none of that's gonna happen.
All right. So, we're gonna jump to the first steps. The setting up our world. That's the thing we were doing. So, if I remember correctly, Hathland starts in I don't. The game starts in a month that I don't remember. I don't have it over right now.
Tilsoil.
Tilsoil.
In the year of Water Lily.
Okay. We are probably not going to get very far through the year of Water Lily. We might step into another season, maybe. I don't know. This is a one-shot. We're not going to get very far. But we are going to set up our first couple places. So, we always begin our journey arriving somewhere new. To create our first new place, pick out 3 natures or choose randomly. Each of these natures serves as one of the building blocks. I am going to choose Tower, Hillock, and Glen. From the list of natures. Tower is one of the liminal, and Hillock and Glen are 2 of the verdant natures.
Do we know if there's anyone living at this tower?
So, we should grab the other ones first. My thought with the tower was one of the moth towers.
All right. I will say farm, field, and road.
I am going with Tavern, field, and let's go with lake.
I'm gonna go with Hallow, Lagoon, and Bridge.
Hallow, Lagoon, and Bridge. Alright. So, as a group, go through each of the natures you've selected and choose 2 aesthetic elements and 1 folklore from each. Make a conversation of it, tossing around ideas and mixing things together. You are welcome to interpret these natures as literally or as metaphorically as you'd like. While the Chalklands might be literally a hillock, they might be metaphorically a swamp. Once you've got a pretty good idea of what this place is like, go around and each say 1 common type of animal folk that live in the area. This doesn't mean everyone in this place is, for example, a salamander. It just means that if we're in a hurry, we can quickly imagine some nudish friends. Then, the person who's spoken the least during this entire process describes what forms the many small and forgotten gods take in this place. Last but not least, give this place a name. So, we need to. What did I say?
You said Tower, Hillock, Glen.
Yeah, I've got them written down. We need to choose 2 aesthetic elements and 1 folklore from each. So, if I can find the tower, the aesthetic elements are that I'm going to choose are a roosting moths in the rafters, obviously.
Yeah, that just makes sense.
So roosting moths. The other aesthetic element will be a lonely soul responsible for keeping everything in working order. Because a moth tower needs a moth tender. And a folklore is, you know what, it's going to be the first of the moth towers. Hillock. Aesthetic elements, I'm going to say a strange pile of stones and scattered fragments of civilization. And for its folklore, we are going to go with the fallen star and the stories she told.
I think that there's a fragment of that fallen star still in this hillock. That's a small and forgotten god that I want to go find.
That's a fantastic idea. I was just about to remind y'all to pipe up if you have ideas about anything I'm picking out for these things. So, for the Glen, 2 aesthetic elements, we are going to go with massive beetles and soaring dragonflies.
I think Anemone is gonna very much love that.
I'm
Not
sure.
just because like like they can't see like these bugs, but like they like bugs.
Let's see here.
You can probably still hear them flying around as well.
I've
Oh,
also
yeah,
got-
I want to capture some of those massive beetles.
Maybe not capture, just ride.
Well, yeah, you know.
How
Yeah.
massive? Like, are they bigger than
Yeah,
you?
how massive.
Well, considering
inside that.
considering one of the options for a thing a moth tender can carry at all times was feed and supplies for your sturdy hopper mount, I would bet that these massive beetles are big enough for us to ride potentially.
Oh,
So
yeah.
That is definitely right up Cole's alley.
Yes.
I'm looking at the folklore, and I think I have to choose one that Anemone is also going to very much like. This is the Meadow of the Lightning Dancers.
Yes.
Are the fireflies the lightning dancers? Do they do a special
Another
game?
name for fireflies is lightning bugs. It's a regional name.
Okay.
So yeah, my thought was absolutely that the lightning dancers are fireflies that come out at night.
And did you choose a second aesthetic element?
Yes, my aesthetic elements were massive beetles and soaring dragonflies. Glens are filled with bugs, apparently, and I didn't realize that when I picked it, but I love it. It makes me so happy. Alright, who wants to pick your aesthetic elements in folklore next?
I'm super excited. I want to go next. Okay, so I chose Hallow, Lagoon, and Bridge.
We're all feverishly writing notes.
We sure
love
are.
Okay, so the Hallow. A Hallow is a sacred where gods and mortals mingle. When you arrive at this place, decide a rule that all must follow. Ooh.
Are we gonna visit the Hallow?
Um,
Is the Hallow? I have a question. I have an important
Okay.
question. Is the Hallow part of the what was it, hillock? Is that the one I picked? Is it part of the hillock? Is
That
is
is
the
what you
Hallow where we're going to find the fallen star?
Ooh. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the Hallow is part of the hillock. Yep, I like that. And I think the rule that everyone must follow is you're not allowed to touch any of the stones from in the hillock
I feel like that's gonna
when
be
you
hard
enter.
for Cole,
Yeah,
Well,
so
and
hard.
therefore probably also hard for Fran, because I can imagine Cole egging Fran to do the same.
so that's for the Hallow. Ooh. No touchy rocks. All right, so aesthetic elements. I think a well-tended shrine. That will definitely catch Dantholomews' eye.
I think even though Anemone isn't really particularly religious, I guess, they still respect and appreciate, relics like that.
Queerweedle Queerweedle's done a lot of adventuring. He's he's probably interacted with a number of small gods in his time, and has deep respect for them and love for them.
Cole has no real understanding of that stuff, but Papa Dantholomew is teaching me.
I love
I love
Cole
that.
so much.
Awesome. The second aesthetic element that I'm choosing is an unexplainable miracle.
Ooh.
And I think that has something to do with, again, tying it to the hillock that it is within. Something to do with the fallen star, that any time anyone enters the Hallow and respects the rule of not touching any of the stones and not rearranging them. I think as they leave, they get maybe a sense or an urging that they are allowed to pick up one stone, and when they turn over that stone, it has something written or drawn on the bottom that is like just what they needed to hear.
Interesting. I like that. Does the stone maybe also shimmer with a little bit of starlight?
Oh yeah, maybe it does.
I love that.
And one folklore. I feel like I'm inventing folklore as we go, but that's fine.
I think that's the point of this.
That was a thing. Something else of your own invention.
True. Yeah, I feel like I wanted to, use something of my own invention and kind of expand on on what we've already created. That I guess, that there are a lot of these unturned stones that maybe people didn't pick up and turn over. So there's lots of these very like hidden personal messages that are out in the Hallow, and that maybe if you look hard enough, you'll find one for someone that you know or care about. And that's kind of a folklore that there's one for everyone.
I guess that makes sense why you're not supposed to touch them and look at them, because
They're
you
there
could
for
see
someone
something
else.
there for somebody else. It's private.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. Okay, that was your Hallow. You've got a lagoon
Yes.
bridge.
All right, lagoon. That was only one. Oh, this is awesome.
We're gonna spend 4 hours just world building. It's gonna be great. I love it. This is like amazing.
I
love
really
Like the
really
DM
like the
story.
way this world building works.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is really
So
cool.
fun.
Okay, a lagoon is a place of contemplation, introspection, and self-reflection. I like all of this. 2 aesthetic elements. A glorious waterfall. I cannot pass up a waterfall.
Waterfalls are great.
And I'm gonna go a skittish creature who hides from the outside. So that could be fun to interact with.
Cute little amphibious plant thingy, maybe.
Anemone might
Ooh.
try to befriend this creature.
And folklore. Ooh, the Waterfall's broken heart. I don't know what that means, but I'm excited to find out.
I might have ideas, assuming we visit the
Ooh.
lagoon.
We have to go to the lagoon. Okay. My final one was bridge. A bridge is a passage from one place to the next. Aesthetic elements. Rickety planks. A classic. And, ooh, a sudden drop. That's fun. Folklore. I want to say the path carved by the giant king.
Ooh.
I'm thinking maybe the sudden drop was, maybe carved by a foot, or, maybe it's
Maybe his walking
yeah,
stick.
there's a huge footprint. Yeah, walking stick.
The walking stick slipped through the bridge, and if you're not careful of the gap, you will fall down into the river below,
Mm-hmm.
which may lead to the waterfall and its broken heart.
Ooh. Or maybe that's why the heart is broken. People keep falling in. I don't know. We'll leave it open.
All right.
Guess I can go next. So the tavern is a place of simple comfort, often settled into while on the journey from one land to the next. This place can always never mind. I'm going to skip over that because none of you guys did that. I'm not going to do that. Two aesthetic elements. Let's see here. I'm going to say a huge fireplace with a big pot of stew and a great hall jam-packed with layabouts.
Oh.
So we have lots of friends to investigate. And
I'm imagining a lot of other folks on their own journeys.
Oh yeah, lots of traveling groups, lots of people who are just, passing by, have lots of stories to tell, all kinds of stuff. And as far as the folklore, let's see here. I like this one that says the night the old king drank here, and I want to kind of tie it into the bridge thing that Logan said, talking about the giant king. What if this giant king has the ability to make himself not giant, and he likes to just go into the tavern and mess with the locals? And somebody was like, "Hey, that's the giant king," and they recognized him, and then that's this folklore.
I love that.
Nice. Is there like a table that's like, oh, that's where he sat?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely
that's his
there is. It's right next to the fireplace with a big pot of stew.
Now, here's the question is, do they leave that table open out of respect and reverence in hopes that he'll visit again? Or do people
definitely
fight over who gets to sit there?
I think maybe a little bit of both. I think the management of the tavern keeps it open. But every now and then you'll get somebody in there who gets really belligerent and is like, I want to sit there. It's the best table in the house. Imagine like the stories you could tell if you said you got to sit at his table.
Nice. I dig it.
Next is the field. A field is a place to lie back, feel the breeze in your fur, and look up at the sky. 2 aesthetic elements are wild plants and herbs, and a familiar shepherd and their flock. And
Who is this familiar shepherd?
Are they familiar to you or to one of us?
I would say probably to one of you guys, but I could also
Weedle has adventured a lot.
Yes. I could also see Anemone being, friends with them just because they like to be friendly, they like to talk to people. So.
Could be someone we both know.
Could be, yeah. And the folklore about this place, I'm going to say the Dance of the Flower Goddess, because I'm starting to get this idea that I think Anemone likes to dance, but also I feel like Cole would be really into that. But yeah, I think that's it for the field. I don't know as much about the Dance of the Flower Goddess as I do about the Giant King who once drank at a bar. And last, I have the lake, which is a vast body of water that spans an overwhelming distance, which sounds more like an ocean, but I mean, to small creatures, lakes are enormous. So, 2 aesthetic elements for the lake would be striders darting across the surface.
Yes!
A nearby vessel that you weren't expecting to see.
Is that because you know the vessel? Or you were expecting it elsewhere?
I don't think that Anemone recognizes the vessel. I think it's just that particular lake doesn't get much travel. And I think that's going to tie into the folklore about this place, which is there's a kraken.
I love that.
So yeah, this place doesn't get much sea travel. If you see a vessel in there at all, it's usually just like a tiny little boat close to the shore. But I'm imagining that this vessel is much larger, like almost like a cargo or pirate ship.
I feel like as we're wandering through places, I'm gonna need to pull some stories out of my ass for Quill Weedle with, oh, I remember this place.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what you get for making the old man adventurer.
Alright, that would make it my turn. I chose farm, field, and road. So, starting with farm. A farm is a place where people live unremarkable lives, deeply rooted in the turning of the seasons and the work that must be done. 2 aesthetic elements here are crops as far as the eye can see. And I think a house I once called home.
Interesting.
Ooh, interesting backstory drop.
One folklore about this place is there once was a scarecrow who was so tired of doing his job that he just walked away. Folklore is the scarecrow that walked away.
What is the state of the house that you once called home?
I think it is. It's still livable. Maybe people still live there. You don't know. But it's not ruined or anything like that. All right. So field. I'm not sure that maybe this is the same field that AJ that AJ chose, or a separate one, or one connected to it. But this field has a babbling brook, and it has mossy boulders.
Mossy boulders
Um,
are fun.
I think that might be where I met Dantholomew.
Well, you almost mistook him for a boulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one, and I just like stood up.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
was sort of bouncing along
What's this
the
interesting orange lichen?
Ah,
Hello there.
the folklore I'm going to choose is the Barrow Ghost. Yeah.
Ooh.
What's a barrow?
Good.
Anybody know off the top of their heads?
Kind of like, I want to say it's kind of like an like a grave, like a crypt. The only thing I'm drawing from is Bleak Falls Barrow.
Yeah,
in,
a barrow.
Sky.
A barrow is like a mound.
Yeah.
It's sometimes a mountain is referred to as a barrow, but it's just any like kind of hill basically.
Sometimes they do have crypts in them. The ones I've seen in
Sometimes.
video games have crypts in them.
Yes. Either it's that or it's a wheelbarrow. Because
A ghost carting
I-
around a wheeled barrow.
I looked it up, and that is one of the definitions, a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I thought. You know, maybe that. Yeah.
Maybe it is a ghostly wheelbarrow.
Ooh.
I mean, either
A
way,
wheelbarrow that wheels itself.
Anemone is very afraid of ghosts.
Oh
so,
no.
yes. Also, bless you, Casey.
Don't
Thank you.
die.
So the next one I chose is road, and a road is a place that exists for traveling through. Who would have guessed?
Gasp.
I think I'm gonna go with grooves in the ground.
Do we know what made them? Like carts and that kind of
Um,
thing? They
Barrow.
mysterious.
I think
Or is it a wheelbarrow?
It's the Barrow Ghost.
it's the Barrow
Oh.
Ghost.
Hello.
Does anyone know off the top of their head what cairns are?
Stacks of stones. Cairns are often used to mark trails for hikers. They would also be used by native people to mark places of significance. It's usually spiritual significance, sometimes grave sites, things like that.
Then I'm gonna say cairns along the path.
Ooh. Love good cairn. What's our folklore for this road?
The folklore about this place is about the possum made of mist.
Possibly.
Sounds like another ghost. Dun, dun, dun.
I hope you all like my co-star Tilly.
Secretly, the ghost possum is the Barrow Ghosts.
Oh.
The ghost possum lost their wheelbarrow in the field, and now they're separated and just looking for each other ad infinitum.
All right. So we have our little areas in this wonderful land we've built. I absolutely love that the waterfall and the bridge are connected, and that the Hallow is in the hillock. That just makes me happy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I love how much we're like interweaving all of our places. Like,
This
I
is
was
a
kind of
really cool
worried.
world building mechanism.
Yeah, I was like kind of worried that they were gonna not have anything to do with each other, but it really feels like a connected world. Like
Mm-hmm.
the folklore all
And
ties
I think it
together.
helps that, like, for the
great.
most part, you know, I know the two of you haven't done a lot with Logan yet, but Logan and I have built stuff together. The three of us have been building stuff together in our games for a while, so we've got that, you know, kind of collaborative feel already, which
And I think that's one of
makes it easy, yeah.
I think that's one of the bonuses to running a GM-less game, is like we're all building the world instead of just the GM.
And I feel like that gives us a lot more, obviously invests us more in the world, but we feel we know
More
it more, so we can
connected.
choose where we want to go
Yeah.
more easily, rather than the GM being like, this is the world. And us being like, I don't know anything about it, where do I go?
Alright, so, once you have a pretty good idea of what this place is like, go around and each say one common type of animal folk that live in the area. I think, clearly, the first step is raccoons.
I don't know why, but I'm feeling hedgehog.
Hedgehogs? Hedgehogs are great.
I just want to say skunks, because skunks are cool.
I feel like I need to come up with a non-furry animal.
Maybe something amphibious, since
Yeah,
you've got
something
a lake
amphibious.
and a lagoon.
Oh boy, I'm trying to think of some good amphibious creatures, but I don't know a lot of amphibious creatures.
The example in the book was salamanders.
Yeah.
You could do frogs,
I want to do some kind of turtle.
some kind of turtle, yeah.
Yeah, like a really little tiny type of turtle, but I don't know any off the top of my head, so I'm gonna Google some tiny turtles, and I will get back to you guys.
Right. Well, which one of us has spoken the least?
I think Casey.
Okay.
Give us the small and forgotten gods of this place, Casey. There are so many. What forms do they take? What are they? Other than our fallen star friend.
I think one of them is the god of trying to work through the phrase. The god of forgotten gatherings.
God of forgotten gatherings. What do they look like? What's their vibe? Are they like? Ooh, are they made of like your standard harvest, your standard fall harvest?
Yeah.
Crops?
Yes. They take the
Bunch
form
bundles
of
wheat and corn.
they take the form of a lot of the crops in the area near like a harvest season. You generally find them like at a place where you might gather, like a picnic table, a dinner table or whatnot, but no one else is there. They're the only individual there.
I feel like that that god would be having a great time in 2020 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, that is a
So
great
accurate.
god.
Thank you.
Do you think that they ever sit at the Giant King's table in the tavern?
Yes, definitely.
So here's my question about this forgotten god. Like, you can see this god, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then
I would imagine.
Then I imagine that the people just acknowledge that this is a god. He's allowed to sit at the table.
Yeah. I don't know if they know what he's a god of, though.
I don't know if you
other
guys saw my message in the Twitch chat, but they're
Spotted
specifically
turtles.
spotted turtles. They're very cute.
I love spotted turtles. Are there any other small and forgotten gods in this area, in this region of the Heathland?
I think there are a couple small gods. Gods of like small little nature spirits, gods of like the plants and herbs that help them grow in the field. I think they gather a lot in around the mossy boulders area,
Right.
and that might be why Dan Tholomew was there.
Are there any sort of like watery gods?
Maybe a little water lily dude. He likes to
Yeah.
dance
I
around
love
in
that.
on the shores.
I'm picturing. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm real bad with Pokemon names. What's the one with the lily pad on his head?
Lotad?
I think so. It's like he's got like
Yeah.
his head is a lily
little
pad
dude
on
who's
top,
just a little
Lotad, yeah.
little orb
just-
with the lily. Yeah.
and he just like lives under the water with the lily pad on the top.
That's what I was imagining too. Just sort of like a god with maybe a lily pad or like a lily, on his head, on their head.
I love it.
Do you reckon they live in the lake or the lagoon?
I think they live in the lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
The Kraken has the lake under control.
Yeah, the Kraken may be a god itself of some sort. Maybe not small, but
I was gonna say he's less of a small and forgotten god and more of a large and very very well known god.
You know, I think the god in the lagoon used to be a god of the lake.
maybe the Kraken chased him out.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that.
They had an argument.
I wonder if that's tied to
Do
the
you think they
Waterfall's
used to be
broken heart.
friends?
Maybe they were friends.
At one point, maybe.
They used to be friends, and they had a disagreement, and the Kraken chased the water lily up the waterfall into the lagoon.
Hmm.
I was also thinking, what if there's a god of the waterfall and all three of them were friends? And because of the fight between the Kraken and the water lily, now the god of the waterfall is upset because their
That's the
friends are.
Waterfall's broken heart.
Yeah.
And now they have like their very separate domains.
And the god of the waterfall just wants their friends back.
It's trying to connect them.
Oh. I love the story that we've already built.
Okay, I'm ready to write a book, guys. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's write it. Let's write like a children's book.
Children's book about these adventurers bringing these, separated friends back together. Alright, we need to name this place. This is the part I'm the worst at.
Me too, I'm also the worst. Casey, it's all up to you.
Okay. Why don't we call it Starfall Meadows?
I like that.
Okay, so we have recently arrived in Starfall Meadows. This is the region we are now adventuring through. I am very specifically trying to get to the Meyermerk Swamp, however far away it may be. So, chances are I am returning to Starfall Meadows, as it sounds like we all might be.
Yeah, have we all been here before? So I've been here before, and so as Cole, this is where we met. in one of the fields with the mossy boulders. Has Anemone been here before?
I think they have. If at the very least they've spent time in the tavern, not like participating in all of the raucous activity, but just sort of watching people and listening to stories and, enjoying the company of travelers. And that's probably where they met Bartholomew and Cole, and probably, I can't remember how to pronounce Scotty's character's name. It's fine. I'll figure it out.
Alright. So, we have spent an hour and 20 minutes on this. Well, okay, more like an hour. We probably spent about 20 minutes on just intro. We've spent an hour on just talking about our characters and building the world.
And it's thoroughly enjoyable.
It is,
This was already fun, y'all.
Like, this could be the game.
Yeah,
And like,
I would enjoy just doing this over and over and over, honestly.
You could even make it into a map
sitting
making
with us.
game.
Oh yeah, we could. Oh my god.
That would be a lot of fun. Alright, so, as we enter the Starfall Meadows, where do we enter? Are we on the road? Like, does the road cut through the entire area with fields on either side, and then...
That's what I was imagining, yeah.
Yeah, lots of fields.
The road connects to the bridge, which connects back to the road, maybe, and then you've got the lagoon over here, and
the lake, and the waterfall.
Yeah,
and somewhere along there is the tavern.
I'm kind of imagining Starfall Meadows, and this is totally because of stuff I've been watching recently. I'm kind of imagining it as like the Shire.
Yeah.
I've been watching a ton of Lord of the Rings.
That's fair. So, I'm gonna draw up this little map for my own edification so that I can sort of envision this area. Let's see here. So I have the lagoon has this little river that goes under the bridge and ends in a waterfall that leads down into the lake. It's kind of how I'm envisioning that. And the bridge has a big chunk missing from it where the Giant King's staff split through it. Let's see here. Alright.
I think the hole in the bridge has also purposely not been repaired to show deference to the Giant King.
Which means you need to find a safe way across. Either swimming the lagoon, going all the way around the lagoon, or, if you're daring and bold enough, finding a way across the bridge itself. I think in his heyday, Quiaweedle probably jumped that gap.
I'm pretty sure that Anemone is very careful about it. Like, one of the things they're patient, but they're also very cautious and precise.
Right. So as we head into Starfall Meadows, goodness, I don't even know where to start now.
So do we start? I feel like we start on the road so we can explore what the road looks like to us, or we can pick another place that we travel along, like we travel over the road and head somewhere else. And Bartholomew wants to go to the lagoon.
Since we're on the road, if I can find the road again, let's start with the road can always describe something passing by, keep someone from getting where they're trying to go, or push someone forward and give them a token.
I know Anemone does have a purpose, but they're more just sort of along for the ride right now.
Yeah, Quiaweedle has a clear purpose. He has a place he is trying to get as quickly as possible. And I feel like the road is definitely keeping him from getting where he's trying to go, because this place, Starfall Meadows, is full of memories for him.
I think Dan Tholomew's excited to be back in Starfall Meadows. He's come here before, and there's just so much to explore. Such a wonderful place that he always likes coming back to Starfall Meadows. I think it's a regular stopping point on his little tour that he does of just walking around and taking care of the small and forgotten gods.
I think Cole is nervous to be back. It has been a long time since she's been here, and she didn't really have any intention of really ever coming back.
I think Anemone doesn't really have particularly strong feelings about Starfall Meadow, just because it was just another place that they visited. I mean, sure, they have good memories of this place, but I mean, they're just back. Sure, they'll travel through and keep going.
So as we're traveling down this road, Quiweedle, he is singing. He's singing his walking song. You're all familiar with it by now. It's a cheerful song of returning home.
Has Cole heard this song long enough that she might have picked up at least some of it?
Probably, if nothing else, the chorus, I'd imagine.
Then she is singing it along with you. Not in any kind of key.
Fran, I think, is too quiet to be willing to really sing along, but they're gonna hum a few bars here and there.
Yeah, Cole is holding hands with Fran.
Fran's just happy to have a friend. And I don't know which area do we sort of encounter first? Because Quiweedle's just gonna keep going along the road until someone
I'm
diverts.
gonna say we probably come across. I'm torn between the field and the hillock. I feel like the hillock has more plot potential.
Consider we could start with the tavern.
We could start with the tavern.
Maybe it's getting on lunchtime. Maybe
Okay,
we need to stop and eat.
Let's stop and eat.
Food is important.
Food is important.
I am very hungry.
I'm sure they have food there for you, Cole.
I ate that already.
You're very hungry all the time.
Yeah, that's why I have this. And she pulls out like a lollipop that is got a little bit of fur on it.
That's not okay.
Hmm?
I can't react to that because Anemone didn't see it.
Well, if I remember this place right, there is a tavern right up here. We could stop and eat.
Let's do that.
Alright.
Alright.
Quiweedle will sort of divert off the road and cut a path through tall, overgrown grasses. I think probably passing through the edge of one of the fields towards the tavern. Sure, there's a road and a path to follow, but he knows the way.
I think while they're walking, Anemone is definitely at the back of the group, even behind their Firefly companion. But the Firefly is very diligently following behind the group.
Don't remember what all they've got to eat here, but I think there was a pie.
There was soup, stew. I don't know what. Yeah, both.
I think the difference is Stu's got meat, like a lot of meat.
Yeah.
Stu's got.
It was very
meat
warming,
chunks.
whatever it was.
I think I remember that.
How long has it been since you've been here, Quiweedle?
Oh, you know, probably 15 years?
Mm.
Wow, you're really old.
Thanks, kid.
You're welcome.
I am imagining that this tavern, it doesn't have like small tables that individual groups can sit at. I'm imagining long banquet style tables.
Big old communal tables.
Yeah.
You gotta sit and talk to everyone else who's traveling through.
Yeah. I've actually eaten at restaurants like that. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. I've eaten at a couple of places like that myself.
I have not. That sounds cool.
It's
Oh, yes.
hibachi grills and German restaurants both do that.
Oh
pretty
yeah, mine was a
frequently.
German restaurant.
Oh, I probably went to the one you're talking about when I was
Probably.
visiting Pennsylvania, actually.
Almost definitely.
All right. Well, Dantholomew will walk into the tavern, pleased by the heat, and I think Wick, the little candle guard that I have, gets excited by the big bonfire, the fireplace that's there, and the flame does a little dance. And yeah, I'm gonna go grab a seat at one of the tables. And I feel like the bench probably creaks underneath my weight, with my big boulder on my head.
And Cole sort of skips across the tavern floor, which I kind of imagine to be like hard, compact dirt, but with a scattering of like straw on it. Not like covered in straw, but like you could kick your feet and get a few,
Enough
bits
to
of
keep
straw.
it, keep the floor dry.
Yeah, exactly. And she sort of just sits down next to her new papa and is looking around very, very excitedly.
I think the stew's the specialty, but they've got a few things here.
I think Anemone will attempt to flag down some sort of server. I assume they have just servers wandering around. They're not like bothering the tables. Like if you've gotten your food already, they're not going to come and bother you about it. Like they know their food's good. They're not going to ask you how it is.
So we don't have to get caught in the middle of a mouthful, like.
Right, exactly.
That's always good.
Yeah. So like they're pretty much there to get you drinks, get you food. You're good to go. So they flag down one of these roaming servers, and Anemone's gonna order some stew because that's what's good.
Queerweedle is also going to be getting a bowl of stew.
Stew sounds good.
Nice hearty meal.
Oh yeah.
What kind of pies do you have?
Well, are you looking for savory pies or sweet pies?
Yes.
Well, for savory pies, we've got, oh god, my brain just lost everything I've ever made.
Fish.
Beef and mushroom.
Beef and
Is fish
mushroom.
pie a thing?
Chicken.
Yeah.
Beef and mushroom pie is
Chicken
great.
pie.
Chicken pie. Got a nice fish pie. And sweet, we've got, well, apple pies, of course. Nice.
Rhubarb.
Mulberry
Apple
pie,
Blueberry.
rhubarb.
strawberry rhubarb,
Blueberry.
blueberry pies.
Apple cinnamon.
I would
And
like.
don't choose all of them, Cole. You got to pace yourself here. Remember,
But they all sound so good.
you can always come back.
We can come back.
Okay.
And remember, if you eat too many, by the time you get to the end, your stomach's hurting and it's not as enjoyable.
You're so right.
Fran's gonna pipe up and say, I would like a beef and mushroom pie. Can I get a little one?
Yeah. We'll get a little beef and mushroom pie and one of those chicken ones. And what kind of sweet pie do you want, Fran?
Oh, I think strawberry rhubarb sounds good.
And we will get strawberry rhubarb. and I will also get a slice of blueberry.
Excellent choice, Cole and Fran. And Dan Tholomew, I think anytime that Cole or Fran don't finish their food, Dan Tholomew will finish it. So he doesn't feel the need to order any pies at this point in
I
time.
have a sneaking suspicion that Cole and Fran are going to be sharing their food anyway.
Yeah. I think Anemone is very much into pie. She loves all kinds. They love all kinds of pies. So yeah.
Quiaweedle will probably also order a slice of blueberry.
I think Anemone will get the apple cinnamon.
Dan Tholomew will, I did this to myself, will
Sure
also
did.
order like just a big jug of water. And then when it arrives, just pour it over his head to water the mossy boulder and all the tree sapling gods that he
and
carries.
just keep-
Quiaweedle's gonna like pull his scarf off and hold it over the candle.
and also to keep his skin moist.
Yeah.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. I love it.
Oh, we should probably get a second one if we wanted. I don't know. Do you want to drink water?
Probably a good idea.
You
Get a
guys
refill,
want
please.
I think Anemone is gonna get some sort of like infused water, like some kind of fruit or flavored water. Because I couldn't justify them drinking like juice, but they don't want to drink just plain water. So like,
Did you teleport up there?
she heard us talking about pie and she was interested.
Do you want a beef and mushroom pie? She's offended that I touched her. So while we're eating, I think Quiaweedle is going to just kind of start talking about Starfall Meadows, because he liked his last visit to this place. It was a good time, has a lot of memories. Where are my notes? Here they are. He's gonna sort of lean against the table. He's very, very relaxed, very, very casual, very breaking all of rules of propriety by having his elbow on the table. He says, last time I was here, Renan and I went looking for this fallen star. We didn't find her, but she's in the hillock nearby.
She?
Well, stories call her a she anyway. She landed
Yeah, I've
here
heard these stories.
some 100 years ago, maybe, and sometimes people find her. I don't know, she gives them something.
I like gifts.
I don't know if it's a gift necessarily.
Maybe she's got candy.
Huh.
Maybe. Are you looking for something, Quiaweedle, that you think the star goddess can give you?
I don't know if I'm really looking for something she can give me. It's just something that I never finished last time I was out here.
What do you think, Cole? You want to go see a star goddess?
Okay. Where's that? I wasn't listening. The pie was.
Have a hard time listening and eating, do you?
I
It's
can
out
get.
by a nearby hillock.
I can remember. I can always get distracted. Oh, okay. I think I know where that is. I think I remember.
Well, yeah, we can go take a look. I don't want to spend too long getting lost here, but
Oh, one thing I do want to do is I want to go try and ride a beetle.
Ooh, that sounds like great fun.
Yeah.
Responsible fun.
Oh, okay.
That's in the Glen. That's not too far away either.
Yeah. Oh, and also, I'd like to go visit the lake.
Why do you
What do you want to do at the lake?
I want to try and ride one of the water striders.
can you swim, Cole?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I got taught that. Yeah, then Papa taught me.
It's work in progress.
So, are you... Yeah, okay.
I can swim. I'm a great swimmer. So as long as
Yeah.
we're together, we should be fine.
Alright. I mean, we can visit the lake. It's, or... Did you say lake or lagoon?
Like,
That's the lake.
Right. It's, should be fine.
you seem like you're in a bit of a hurry, Weedle. Wait, are you okay?
I just want to get Fran settled down safely, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're passing through all of these places anyway to get where you're going, so
Yeah,
a couple little pit stops won't hurt.
probably.
The journey's just as important as the destination. You know? Want to give Fran all these good memories by the time she gets wherever she's going.
So always remember riding the beetles and water striders.
And
And
the
it's excellent.
friends she made along the way.
Fran's just like, I mean, I don't know if I want to ride them, but I would really like to watch them. I bet they're cool.
You'll want to ride them after you watch me ride them.
Maybe I want to ride. I want to. And they're gonna pull out this little journal that's been like tied together from scraps of paper. I wanna draw them.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, ow! I'm fine.
Don't hurt yourself.
I totally didn't just jam my knee against my desk. All right. Fran's also just kind of tapping their hands against the edge of the table. This food is really good. I'm really liking it. I kind of want a nap. I'm kind of tired now. I think I ate too much.
Do we have time for a nap?
Always have time for a nap.
Weedle.
I'm a big believer.
I mean, we could stop for a while. We could probably We could probably go find somewhere nice to sit down. Maybe I like napping on the shore of a lake.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, if they've noticed the empty table right near the warm fire, and if they think that would have been a good place to nap.
I mean, it does seem warm.
I imagine it's got a little card on it, like one of those reserved signs, but it doesn't say reserved. It says, like, do not sit. It doesn't say why, but, like, everyone who comes here regularly knows you don't sit there because, the giant god sat there. Got giant king. Sorry.
It's definitely a good place to nap because that's the napping table. That's why it says do not sit there.
Quillweedle's just gonna.
You guys don't want to sit there. You
That's
don't
not.
want to go over there.
That's
No,
not
we
why it
wanna
says
be
that.
You'll
You
get in
just
trouble.
want to lay down.
No, you'll get in trouble.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
reserved
special
for
people.
napping. I'm sorry, kids.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Cole and Fran if they want to come as well, and just stand in front of the table. And I'm gonna say, as I always can, hush, listen. And I'm just gonna close my eyes, and I think if you stand in front of the Giant King's table and you listen really hard and you tune out all the noise of the other people and the crackling of the fire, you can hear the teeny tiny footsteps of the small harvest god that sometimes sits at this table. I want to try and help Cole and Fran listen and hear, and maybe even see the forgotten god that sits here. And I'll sort of crouch down and say, see, this table's already taken. It would make an excellent napping corner for sure, but not today, at the very least.
Fran is very good at being quiet, and they just kind of curl their hands up, close their eyes, and tilt their head, and their little ear flicks, and they listen.
Can you hear it?
And Fran scrunches their eyes up, and they sort of crouch down, they sort of hunker down, like maybe if they get closer to the floor, they'll be able to hear something. They say, maybe?
It takes practice. It's okay if you can't hear it right away. Can you hear it, Cole?
Mm-mm.
That's okay.
Maybe it's too loud in here for them right now.
That must be it.
There are a lot of
There are
people
plenty of other
talking.
things to hear and see.
Maybe
Will you
maybe
throw
we
it?
can come back someday.
Well,
Let's go
I'm
find
about
somewhere
ready
to
to
nap.
leave. Yes, a proper napping corner. That's not already taken.
Quillweedle is like wrapping his scarf back around his neck, getting all set up to head back out. Standing there
Dan telling you
waiting
will-
for everyone to rejoin.
Yeah, Dan telling him he's gonna take a final jug of water, just top up, you know.
Cole wipes their hands on their jeans and, pads over to...
How sticky is Cole?
That's a good question.
That's a good question, yeah. Pretty sticky, probably. Imagine their fur's kind of like matted in some places because hides sweets there for some reason.
Best place to hide sweets. In your fur.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Logan gets it.
Alright. So we're gonna head out toward the lake.
Do we have to cross the bridge to get there?
I think the...
Or we
so
just
I think
circumvent the bridge?
The road, I think the road and then the river between the lagoon and the lake are like, they crisscross. They're perpendicular to each other almost.
Mhm.
So you've got the road and then the bridge and more road, and then you've got the lagoon, the river, the waterfall, and the lake. Kind of. That's how I'm
Okay.
envisioning it anyway.
I like that.
I don't know if any of my hand motions made sense to you guys.
It did. You know,
Looked good to me. Alright, so a lakeside nap.
What's between us and the lake? Which
Maybe the field.
I think
Yeah,
definitely there's some fields between here and there. Maybe actually I think it's the field with the mossy boulders
And the Barrow Ghost.
and the Barrow Ghost. And Cole will tug at Dan Tholomew's little cloak and say, "That's where we met, right up there."
You're right. It is. Do you remember?
Yeah, you surprised me. You were really tall. I thought you were a rock.
Yeah. That was a very fair enough assumption. I was very involved in what I was doing, and I didn't even see you. You surprised me. It was a mutual surprising.
I'm good at surprising.
Yes, you've continued to surprise me every day since.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'd call it a surprise or a heart attack.
Dan Tholomew ignores that.
Anemone. Did you want to see the mossy boulders? Anemone?
No, I mean, no, not,
Oh, okay.
no, not really.
They're really slick and slimy.
Oh, okay. I mean, I grew up, in the water, so it didn't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
What was that like?
it was fun because it's kind of like you're flying, except I don't know what it's like to fly. So yeah,
That sounds like a lot of fun. I want to fly.
I mean, maybe. Well, that the Glen place, I think they have dragonflies.
They do.
So you might be able to ride one of those.
Not alone.
Not alone, but you could.
I want to fly a dragonfly.
I almost cracked my head open when I tried to ride one.
Why'd you do that?
Fell off it
Why?
because I wasn't great at riding it.
Oh. Well, I'm
They
a
can be-
great rider.
They can be tricky.
Maybe you should have some practice, Cole. Want to jump up on my shoulders?
Yeah.
I'll let Cole clamber up on my shoulders, and I'll
Get
hop
around.
and run around.
Whee!
Try and jolt them off gently, not too aggressively. All right, this is good practice. I think you're ready. I think you're ready.
Yeah. Gonna be a dragonfly master.
You gotta be careful of Wick there on my shoulder.
Yeah, I'll be careful. I'm making sure that he's still here. And she reaches down and sort of does like a pet, but like her hand is like
Well above the flame.
yeah. Because she still doesn't understand everything like that.
Alright. So we wind our way through the mossy boulders. Are we perchance going to pass through the other field before we reach the lake? Do y'all think?
I was sort of like imagining that on the other side of the road, like
It's on the other
fields
side
to
of
either
the
side of us.
Okay.
I'm happy to arrive at the lake with the Striders and
A nearby vessel that shouldn't be there, apparently. This vast expanse of open water, gently lapping at the beach. And Quiaweedle is just gonna kick off his boots and sit down in the sand and dip his toes in the water.
It's so blue.
There's a kraken in it.
What?
Yeah,
I'm
just don't go out
surprised.
too far.
I've never heard that.
It's been there for as long as I can remember.
What's its name?
Oh, I didn't ask its name.
Oh, that you should always ask someone's name.
That's a good point.
Oh, I didn't get to talk to it.
Maybe if we ride some of the striders out there, we can ask its name. Names are important. Good remembering, Cole.
And Cole, very confidently strides over to the lake. Probably gets in a little bit, like up to her knees or so. Takes a deep breath. Dunks her head into the water and shouts out, "Hi, Kraken! I'm Cole!" Before... Well, I said hi.
I'm sure the kraken appreciated that, kid.
Hopefully he says hi back.
I'll sit down next to Cole on the edge there where they dunked their face in. And I don't think Bartholomew wears shoes, and he's just going to stick his feet into the water as well. And listen to see if the Kraken replies, because he doesn't see any reason why they wouldn't. AJ, what do you think we hear, if anything?
I think you kind of hear like whale noises. Very, very faint whale noises.
Well, there you go, Cole. That's the Kraken's name.
I
Whale
heard
noises.
that! I heard that!
See, you're getting better at hearing all the time.
Yeah!
Fran is, like, upon hearing the whale noise, is gonna hurry over to the edge of the water and go, "What was that? Like, what did it say?"
It said...
But what does that mean? And
I
they're
don't
gonna
speak Kraken.
whip their little journal out and their little pencil and start scribbling in it. New goal: learn to speak Kraken.
I think Dulcet, my little god of tiny melodies, starts playing, repeating that sort of whale song, that whale call, the Kraken call, just again and again on my wind chimes, so that Fran can, I don't know, notate it down, or we can all remember it.
I think Cole is very into hearing the song again and sort of curls up next to near Bartholomew and just sort of goes to sleep eventually.
Fran's probably going to eventually fall back on the sand and fall asleep to the sounds of the waves. What's happening with this ship, though?
I mean, Bartholomew is also napping. He's gonna take the boulder hat off, lean back against it, and have a nice nap with the kids.
Quiaweedle's not napping. He's just gonna sit up with his feet in the water, enjoying it. remembering, reminiscing.
I think Anemone is just kind of watching the ship because they know about the Kraken and they know that something could happen to that ship.
Yeah, I think Quiaweedle, I don't think is expecting anything to happen to the ship. I think Quiaweedle was here long enough ago that it was before the falling out, and he was used to it being livelier actually, and this is slower than he expected it to be.
And I just want to point out that you get a token whenever you take a moment to bask in the grandeur of the world.
Oh.
And I feel like this counts here in the beauty of the Kraken song. So anyone who's taking a moment can take a token. Just go.
Yeah, we sure are basking in the grandeur of this lake and the Kraken song. That's a good reminder. I need to track my tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Does anything happen while we nap, or do we awake refreshed and ready to go elsewhere?
I think while y'all are napping, Quiaweedle's going to look over at Anemone and say, it's a lot quieter here than it was last time.
Really? I've only ever been here when it's been quiet.
I'm not used to being just about the only one here. Last time I came through, there were a few people swimming and a couple of boats sailing out on the water.
I mean, it's probably the Kraken. The Kraken probably scared everybody away.
Didn't used to. You used to be able to watch it out there playing with a couple of little spirits or something.
I don't know what happened. Wish we could talk to them.
I don't speak Kraken. Well, if Kraken's cranky, as it were, what's this ship doing here?
I don't know. It's a big ship. I have not seen a big ship here.
Weird. He's gonna sort of open up his rucksack, pull out his own notebook that has several pages missing, clearly torn out from the back that have been split up to make Fran's little notebook. He flips through and is looking for something in his notebook, whatever it may be. And I guess it's just peace and quiet while Anemone and Quiaweedle consider the strangeness of the way the lake has apparently changed.
Yeah.
Fran is eventually going to wake up and just sort of patter around in the sand for a minute. I think they're very lively when they first get up.
Good nap. This is a good napping spot. Whoever suggested the lake as a napping spot, good job.
Waves are calming.
Cole has like half of her face just covered in sand.
Dan Tholomy's gonna come over and just kind of get all the sand up. You're just a little bit stuck here. Yeah, there you go.
Fran's definitely got sand caught in their fur, and they're just like.
Have any good dreams?
Sorry, what was that?
I was
Did you have any good?
Oh god.
We keep speaking at the same time.
I know.
Okay, you go first.
I was just gonna say I think Anemone's got sand on her, but she doesn't care, or they don't seem to care at all.
Yeah, Quill definitely doesn't care about the sand that's caught up in their clothes and in their fur.
And as Dantholomew gets up and readjusts this boulder on his head, look down at Cole and Fran and say, "Any good dreams about the Kraken, maybe?"
You know, I had a dream that we were all riding the water striders, though. And that was fun.
I had a dream about a weird underwater cave. I don't know what it was.
Maybe that's where the Kraken lives.
Maybe. I don't know how to get to it.
We could swim.
I'm not a very good swimmer.
Papa is.
That's true, I am. But I don't know that I'd want to go out there all by myself. That sounds pretty lonely. And I don't know that Wick would like it very much.
No, that's true.
I think they'd be all right for a little while, but the deeper we go, it gets.
What about Amenity?
I don't want to get eaten by a kraken. If he is bad.
Is the Kraken bad?
I don't know.
Wasn't last time I was here, but I guess things change.
We should.
You could always take.
We should find out why the Kraken is bad.
I was telling Anemone, last time I was here, you could see the Kraken playing with a couple
You
of
could
spirits.
See it?
I'd like to be up in the shallows. Well, not the shallows, but up near the surface at least.
I want to see the Kraken so bad.
Well, I'll admit it troubles me that it's been, I guess, so sullen lately. We could try to find its old friends. Maybe they know a thing or two.
We should do that. You want to, that'd be a good thing to do, right, Papa?
Yes, it would. Yeah, finding friends. It's always a good thing.
Well, they were tied to the water too.
So if we follow the water?
There's
Yeah.
a lot of water around here.
Well, probably not this water. And she points at the lake.
No, I have a feeling if the friends were in this water, they'd still be playing. I know there's a bridge up the road a ways. If we head there, we should find... Well, head near there, we should find... I think a waterfall, if I'm remembering right. It's been a while.
Well, we should go do that then.
Or we could ride the Striders. Follow wherever the lake lets out.
Well, I mean, that's riding the Striders. And I'm in agreement with that.
Striders are a lot gentler than the dragonflies usually are.
More practice. More practice is always good. Practice makes perfect.
That's what you say.
The trick is luring the Striders over.
Striders! Come over here! I have candy!
Do Striders like candy?
It's a good question. Do Striders like candy?
I don't know.
I mean, apparently fireflies do, so...
We've decided
Striders
that
probably
fireflies
do too. Maybe maybe you need to get the candy out. Dip it in the water.
Okay. Dip it in the water, get some of the fur off.
And get some of that sugar dissolved throughout.
Yeah.
If you swirl it like that, it should ripple out and striders can follow it to us.
I will follow the instructions by. I still don't know how to
Quillweedle's ageless wisdom.
Quillweedle.
Quillweedle.
Yes.
Sorry, not
Do we
sorry. I
think
like
this-
my my pre-Hispanic names.
There. Do we think this counts as spending a token in order to provide a solution for an immediate problem?
I think it is. I'm going to spend my token to do that.
Alright, so what does it look like when the Striders arrive?
I think they arrive very curious at first, and are a little skittish, seeing individuals, but kind of slowly come over and begin sipping at the sugar water, and Cole keeps kind of, making the ripples that she was told to, and they eventually come a lot closer.
Quillweedle is.
Now
going
remember,
to...
Cole, what was the other thing that I taught you to do? When you make friends, you...
Say hello.
Yep, that's a good start. You did it just before with the Kraken. What
Oh,
was it?
introduce yourself. Hello, friends. I am Cole.
Dantholomew will also introduce himself and all of his friends that he carries with him.
Fran's gonna like, I'm Fran. I'm Fran. Quillweedle's gonna ruffle their hair and then walk up, and he's not gonna say anything. He's just gonna gently, like, pat one of the striders.
Remember, Cole, there's more than one way of introducing yourself. So what Queerweedle's doing is still an introduction, just not with words.
Oh, okay.
And then when it looks like the Striders are accustomed to our presence, you can look down at Cole and say, "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
I'll gently lift Cole up onto one of the Striders, just kind of hold them there. Before I'll
I'm
jump
so
on
proud.
back as well.
Yeah. Likewise, Quillweedle lifts Fran up onto a strider and then climbs on behind them.
Is Anemone following suit?
I think so.
Gonna
Have
ride
they
Strider
ridden
as opposed to
Striders
swimming.
before?
No, but they are not going to tell you that they haven't.
Right. So I think Quillweedle is probably going to take the lead. I think he's used to just going and seeing what happens. And he's just gonna sort of urge the strider on, wordlessly, I think. I think he tends to stay quiet when he's interacting with our buggy friends. Because he can come off kind of gruff sometimes, and he knows it. So he's just gonna gently urge this strider on to head toward where he thinks the waterfall might be, if he's remembering right. He's been so many places, they all start to blur together sometimes. But he's definitely going the wrong way this time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where do you actually lead us?
He's probably... So I imagine, the waterfall's off this direction, and he's like, I think it's this way?
Papa, I think Quillweedle is leading us in the wrong way.
Queerweedle, for starters.
Quillweedle.
What? Queerweedle? Yeah, you're very close. Why? What makes you say that?
Because the waterfall is that way.
Very observant of you. And we'll pull alongside. Just before we pull alongside Queer Weedle, I'll say, now you can tell him, but everyone makes mistakes sometimes. So remember not to be angry.
Right. Queer Weedle.
I think at this point, Queerweedle is used to his name being mispronounced. He's just kind of look over with this tired look in his eyes and say, "Yeah."
I don't know if we're going the right way, because the waterfall is over there.
He sort of looks around, says, and he looks like he's gonna say something, and then he stops, looks down at Fran and over at Cole and says, "Sugar honey iced tea. Yeah, I got this place mixed up with something else."
I like honey.
I like
Honey's
iced tea.
great.
Yeah.
Iced tea's fine. And he's gonna sort of direct his strider the other direction. Thank you for pointing that out, Cole.
You're welcome.
My adventuring days are not what they used to be.
What are they like now?
Well, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. My ears ain't as good as they used to be. My memory sure ain't what it used to be.
Oh. Sound tired.
Maybe I am, but I'm also still restless.
Are you tired of being restless?
I don't know. I like being out here. Being restless has served me well.
So we managed to turn around and right ourselves as we turn back towards the correct direction of the waterfall, which
As we get
is
closer, Queerweedle's like, "Yeah, I can hear it now."
the waterfall that is part of the lagoon where a skittish creature lives, and the waterfall's broken heart.
The waterfall can always describe the water and all the tiny creatures that or the lagoon, can always describe the water and all the tiny creatures that live in it. Make matters worse through people's inaction, and ask, "What have you been thinking about lately?" and give them a token for their thoughts.
That's very cool.
As we get up to the waterfall, I think you can all sort of see this. Well, most of you can see this sort of distant look in Queerweedle's eye.
Are you okay, Queerweedle?
Yeah, just remembering this place.
Like you were remembering the lake?
Yeah.
So, this place is different too?
It's quieter. Waterfall used to be louder. There was laughter in it, sorta. Now it just sounds sad. And Fran
Cole, have you been?
closes their eyes tight, and they're like, "I can hear it."
Cole, do you want to try too, having a listen?
Okay. I can't hear anything.
You don't have to try very hard. It's not something that you have to force. You just
Maybe
sit or stand or whatever's comfortable
maybe don't think about hearing it. Maybe just think about feeling. Because hearing is just one of your senses.
Okay.
Just close your eyes and breathe.
I heard something. I don't know if it was the waterfall though.
What did it sound like?
It sounded like someone crying.
That might be the waterfall. And Queerweedle's gonna kind of urge the strider that he and Fran are on a little bit closer to the waterfall. And gonna kind of find some rocks to climb down onto. Pull Fran down and sort of start taking a look around.
Do you want to get closer, Cole?
I think so. Yeah.
We'll glide closer as well and dismount. I'll help Cole off and say that was very good listening.
Thank you. I have been learning.
I hope you all like the sound of the bell as one of my cats scratches herself. She's being very
Good.
helpful.
It's good background music.
Yeah, it's great. So, this waterfall. Let's see here. Lagoon can always describe the water and all the tiny creatures that live in it. Make matters worse through people's inaction and ask, what have you been thinking about lately? I feel like the lagoon is full of fish. Sometimes they'll, like, slide down the waterfall. And wind up in an entirely new place, lost and confused. What's going on? So sometimes you'll see a fish fall down and then, like, try to orient itself and have no idea where it is, because what just happened?
I think there's also some mosquitoes around here.
That is actually a horrifying thought because of how big all the bugs are here.
I hate that. Thanks.
Okay, I mean, I was just thinking regular-sized mosquitoes.
I mean, I imagine that there are small bugs too.
Yeah,
Maybe they're like
they can
they're
be.
gnats. They're gnats that turned into larger, but they're now like mosquito-sized.
Like that big.
Yeah,
These fat little gnats flying around.
flying around.
Chubby little dudes looking for fruit to munch on. Gotta come steal. I think the gnats are gathering around Cole. They want your candy.
No.
What did we say about sharing?
It's my candy.
Fran's
You can
gonna
always
close
have
their
more.
eyes and pat their hands on their legs and say, sharing is caring.
Alright. Rip off some fur.
The sound effects.
Tosses it.
Get that professional Foley work.
Yeah. Get some gnats nearby and like just sets it down.
I think that counts as giving someone something you hold dear. If you want to take a token from that,
I would
Casey.
say it does.
I will take a token for that.
What's Anemone doing at this waterfall?
I think they're probably looking for some creatures that live in like the water. They're probably looking at like those fish that you were talking about, seeing if any of them are friendly.
I think they're all confused.
Yeah, and they realize that, so they kind of just try to help them along their way.
some point, Queeweedle kind of gives up on inspecting this rock wall that's next to the waterfall and just shoves their face in the waterfall. He's just like, yeah, water.
I think when Queeweedle does this, so one thing I can always do is notice a little friend that everyone else overlooked. I'm gonna tap Queeweedle on the back as he's got his face shoved into the water, and when he emerges, just sort of point off, like just above to the side, and in the waterfall, I think there's this one sort of shimmering patch of the water that is sort of this. It's not any particular. It's not like a humanoid shape or anything, but it just seems to be hanging there and not moving with the water. And I kind of point at it.
Queeweedle is going to kind of, without thinking, kind of reflexively, then step into the waterfall and kind of glide his hands up over the face behind it to look for ways to climb up. And he's doing this very carefully because it's a waterfall. It's going to be slick and difficult to climb, but he is planning on climbing up to the this little shimmering spot. And he before he goes up, he does nod to Dantholomew.
But you can, I mean, if you ask nicely, you can probably just stand on me and on Word. That might give you the height.
I appreciate that, but I think I'll climb up. And honestly, you probably get the feeling that Queeweedle's not used to, like, relying on other people for help and assistance. Like, even though he obviously didn't travel alone before, he's still used to tackling things on his own power. He's gonna climb up and sort of peek his head at this little shimmering spot and say, very quietly, "Hey there."
And I think it responds to you, not in maybe any way that you see, but it's just a way that you understand.
You sort of feel it. You the spirit of this water, this little area?
I think it lets out this little chime, an affirmative chime.
I think I remember you. You used to play with the Kraken, that little pink flower fella.
Yeah, you hear again sort of what Cole and Fran heard, that sort of sad, mournful sound.
Why don't you come down here and maybe talk to me and my friends for a minute? Got a buddy down here who has a lot of little friends who can probably understand you better than I can.
I think it would be hesitant, but I think you could probably persuade it.
I was here a long time ago. I was a lot younger then. Had someone with me, and we liked this place. It was a nice place. But it feels sad now, and that kind of makes me sad. And I just want to see if we can help.
Yeah, I think it'll slowly come down.
I'm gonna sort of climb down with it. Very, very carefully, trying not to slip.
I think when it comes down and it goes into the water near the the bottom of the waterfall, it turns into a fish. This golden, kind of very bright, shimmering fish.
And when Cleoweedle gets back down, he says, this is one of the Kraken's old friends, I think.
Cole will crouch down and kind of get really close to the edge of the water. Go, "Hi, I'm Cole."
I think the fish is gonna kind of I don't want to say it's timid, but it's not boisterous. It's not jubilant. It just sort of swims in a little circle and flicks its tail. It's got this really graceful motion to it.
And Dantholomew will come to the edge of the lagoon water there next to Cole again and just kind of squat down. And I think he's just going to listen for a long time. And yeah, listen and watch this golden fish. And I think after a while, he'll stand up again and say, he's this creature and the Kraken. They are very old and ancient creatures. And, they're capable, responsible creatures. And sometimes all we can do to help people who are hurting is to listen, and there's not always something that we can do. So I would encourage everyone just to listen and hear what this creature needs to say. And maybe we can pass it on to the Kraken, but I think this creature is capable of doing that itself as well. It's not always... can't always help people in the way that you think that they need to be helped.
And
he's just going to squat back down and listen.
Some folks, some spirits just need time.
I think Anemone is going to spend a token to ease someone's pain, if only for a moment, and just sit and sort of talk to them about nothing in particular. Probably around the topic of, friendship and friends that they have had and friends that they have lost, and just sort of be there for them.
I think they're very appreciative of that. Even though you might not be able to help them come to a resolution right now, it helps to know that there are people out there who care enough.
It's a step.
Sometimes to sort out how you want to fix a problem, how you want to move forward with it, you just need to talk about it for a little bit. And Cleoweedle, I think, is like sitting down right next to the waterfall, clearly being doused by it, because that's how waterfalls are. And just kind of relaxing and enjoying the sounds and everything. Just eyes closed and taking it in. And Fran is sitting there splashing their little feet in the water. Splash, splash, splash.
Cole is sitting next to Fran doing the same thing.
Splash, 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 splash.
Dan Tholomew is mostly listening, but I think he's going to he's going to take some of his sketch covered paper. He's gonna draw up another sketch, and with Anemone's permission, he's going to do a sketch of Anemone by the lake talking to this golden fish creature.
Yeah, she's all about that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, with their permission, he will draw that, and he will leave it at the edge of the lagoon as sort of an offering to the creature as a reminder. He's sure that they can come and grab it if they want it, or protect it, or leave it there, enshrine it in some way if they want to. If this is a memory that they want to keep, then he's confident that they can do that.
So wholesome.
Just a soft little moment. I love it.
So I think the lagoon would like to ask Scotty's character something.
Oh no, the lagoon's gonna ask Weedle what he's been thinking about lately.
I think the lagoon is gonna ask what has he been thinking about lately.
Weedle is gonna kind of sigh and look around the lagoon. And I don't think anything verbally asks this. I think it's just a sensation that he gets. And he says, "I've been thinking about what home means. And thinking about the fact that I'm away from it right now. Because I thought it was a place, but maybe it ain't."
And you will get a token for your thoughts.
Oh boy. That's where I was tracking tokens. And he's gonna kind of stand up, and he's gonna stretch, and he's gonna say, "When I was here last time, it was with Hernan, and we said we were looking for the fallen star. We stopped here at this waterfall." And he's gonna sort of walk through under the waterfall, not like there's a cave back there or anything, but like to the other side. He is absolutely doused, of course. He's gonna stop, and he's gonna look around and say, "And we carved something in the rock. I'm trying to find it again." And when he finally does find it, he waves for whoever wants to see to come over. He's like crouched down low. He says, we were sitting here with our feet in the water, and we sort of turned around and just carved this little," and he points to it, and it's just this little infinity symbol carved into the rock, with, I think, a couple of little, they're not letters or runes or anything, they're just these little sort of symbols that they don't necessarily mean anything to anyone else in either side of it. left this here, so we could come find it if we ever came back to visit. It's our little, our little shrine to an important moment, I guess.
What moment?
This was where I told Hernan I loved him for the first time.
Oh.
Friends just like,
Thank you for sharing it with us.
it's important. Maybe I'll get to travel with Hernan again someday and bring him back here.
You will.
We'll be old and gray. Well, we were already gray.
It's fine, because you're already old.
Yeah, thanks, kid.
You're welcome. And I think Cole opens up her little belt pouch and fishes around and pulls out a small, like a lemon drop candy that is wrapped in like wax paper, and gives it to, I still can't pronounce your name,
Queerweedle.
and says, "Here you go.
Thanks, kid.
Don't worry, it has none of my fur."
And Queerweedle's just gonna kind of ruffle Cole's head. And he will eat the lemon drop. He likes sour sweets. And then he's gonna sort of get up and kind of that old man stretch. Oh, I shouldn't have crouched down like that. That hurt my back. Where to next, y'all?
Should we return the Striders or let them go on their own way?
Striders can find their way. If we wanna keep walking.
I think we should let the Striders go back home. They helped us for a bit.
Did we want to try finding the Star Goddess?
Yes.
Could be nice to meet her. Finally.
What do you think, Anemone?
I really want to meet a star goddess.
She's probably seen a lot. Fran's like, I could ask her so many questions. What are stars' names? What do they call themselves? Because we call them things, but is that what they call themselves? Do they speak to us at night? Is that how we learn what they're called?
These are all questions I have never considered before now.
I have a lot of really good questions. I think that's why I'm trying to go to the swamp.
Wow. We should hurry there then.
Yeah.
Get all these questions out.
I really want to know about stars' names. And like, do they live in are the constellations their families? Is that how that works?
But we made those constellations down here.
But
Maybe different for them.
if the constellations are their families, and they already speak to us at night to tell us their individual names, why can't they tell us their family names? Is that how that works? Or, like, do the stars give us our dreams?
Well, we're just gonna go have to ask her and find out.
Yeah, I really want to know.
Nicole does that sort of thing where it's like running on the spot of like anticipated, very excited.
And Fran just sort of taps their little feet on the ground like they're ready to get moving. Quileweedle comes back through the waterfall like there should be an incline up over here, I think. Get us back up to the bridge. I think the hillock's on the other side.
So we start making our way there towards the hillock, which is where the Hallow is as well.
Yes.
So we have,
into the hillock.
yeah, we have strange piles of stones, scattered fragments of civilization, and the folklore being the fallen star and the stories she told. And then in the Hallow we have well-tended shrine, unexplainable miracle, and the stones. There's a stone for everyone. Yeah.
If I could find that, there it is. Now the hillock can describe what we stand in the shadows of, show a threat that's up ahead, and ask, what are you worried lies up ahead, and give them a token if they're right. And the Hallow can describe the gods that live here and their mystery, offer someone the chance to break this place's rules to make their life easier, or give someone a token when they bend over backwards to respect this place's rules.
So I will, as we make our way there, I will remind Cole that the rule of this place of the Hallow is that we're not allowed to touch the stones. These stones are very special, and they're very personal. Everyone has a stone that's here just for them. So you can't pick up any old stone because it might not be yours.
So it's like stealing?
It is a bit, yeah. If you take someone else's stone, it's like stealing.
And stealing's bad. So, okay.
Those
Don't-
sirens are the sounds of the cops coming to get you.
Yeah.
That's right.
I won't touch the stones.
But remember, you can always listen. And if you think you hear someone or something or someone saying that you're allowed to pick up a stone, then you can pick up that one.
Okay. So I can't pick up a stone unless someone says I can pick up a stone. But
You have
not
to really listen. Not me. Not anyone that you can see.
Wouldn't be any
Oh.
of us.
like your friends.
Yeah, a bit like my friends.
Okay.
Are there any mischief makers among the gods you carry, Dantholomew?
Yeah. I would say the tree sapling, the family of tree sapling gods are a bit mischievous.
So, you might have to be careful. They might try to whisper some broken rules. Let's see here.
So how do we go about trying to find the star goddess? Queerweedle, do you know any particular stories?
Well, it's been a while. I know at night the hills will shine. We camped out here a couple nights trying to find it. I'm not sure which hill is her home. It's not a big place, but it's, you know, it's secret sometimes, sorta.
Well, Anemone, your firefly is good at finding things in the dark, so maybe if we stay here long enough, they'll be able to lead us.
Oh, definitely.
What do you say to an all-nighter, kids?
What's that?
That's where you stay up really, really, really late.
Oh,
It's like
I
no
could-
bedtime, but just for
Oh.
one night.
no
night.
bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
No bedtime.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm really sleepy sometimes. I'll try.
You could probably sleep if you want to, but no bedtime means you don't have to.
Yeah, I like bedtime.
I like it, and also I don't.
Bedtime means I get to have dreams.
Bedtime means I get to be warm and snuggly, but it also means I don't get to play anymore. So I don't like it, but I like it.
Playing's fun.
Cole draws her wooden sword. Yeah. Which, for the record, is the Heaven's Blade.
So, Clearleadle's gonna probably lead everyone relatively deep into the hillock to, you know, find a spot to sit that'll have a nice, good view of the land around, all the stones, but far enough away that nobody's gonna accidentally, you know, touch a stone they shouldn't. He's gonna settle down and probably actually lay back and look up at the sky as it's starting to dim. Fran's gonna sit down next to him and pull out their notebook and start scribbling in it. They're writing down all of their questions for the star.
And Cole is going around to any of the rocks that are nearby and going. And then going to the next one.
I think Dantholomew is taking this time to check up on all his small and forgotten guard friends. So, yeah, just making sure they're all right. Checking on the tree saplings, on Dulcet, who's been playing. I think Dulcet has been playing the tune of the Kraken song, and kind of expanding on it and making it a longer, like 3-minute, 4-minute song. As they've been journeying.
Gonna come over while you're checking on Dulcet and actually lean in and ask. So, how did you meet? What was this one? What's this one's name again?
This is Dulcet, and Dulcet appears as. I feel like maybe they're invisible, and you only know that they're there because the wind chimes keep playing by themselves. So Dantholomew gestures toward the wind chimes and says, "Yes, this is Dulcet. They came to me most recently, of all my little friends here, and I think they were looking for someone who appreciated the smaller things, someone who appreciated listening, because you can't, in the noise of the world, like when we were in that tavern, it's so noisy, you can't hear the tiny songs. And so when I was carrying my wind chimes here, one day they just started playing by themselves, even though it wasn't windy. And that's when I knew that Dulcet had joined me, because I like listening to the small little things.
I like listening too. I like Dulcet.
I'm sure Dulcet likes you. And I think Anthony will sort of, he keeps the wind chimes like on his belt, unhook them, slowly sort of hold them out. Not offering them, but just holding it in between so that Fran can get a closer look.
And Fran's gonna like flip open their notebook and furiously sketch
Mm-hmm.
the wind chimes and scribble down some little notes about Dulcet.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fran has their own little set of gloves that are slowly getting inked the same way that Queerweedle's gloves are heavily stained.
That's nice.
So, sun is setting, and as the sun sets, the sky, you know, it goes to reddish, pinkish purple, and you get these little pinpricks of stars coming up, and eventually the stones, little faint lights sort of start to crop up around each of these little hills in this area, all of these little piles of stones and everything, and some of these little spots of light are brighter than others, and it just creates this very sort of mystic, ethereal feeling in the area.
I think Anemone, even though they can't see it, they've gotten to this point where they can just sort of feel that aura and that sort of atmosphere. And they just kind of sit there and relax in it.
Queerweedle will sit back up and say, well, Star's gonna be awake now, if we want to try and find her.
Dantholomew sort of looks over to Anemone, expectantly, sort of following their guidance without saying anything.
And Anemone will let their firefly take over. I cannot remember what we were doing because my brain can't focus for more than like 2 hours at a time.
Oh no.
So yeah.
We're looking for the fallen star.
Okay, then my firefly will sort of. I don't know how to describe how a firefly sort of investigates things. It's kind of like a dog sniffing around, but not necessarily sniffing. They're just kind of like darting around to different places. Right, their little things are going. It seems like they're not focusing on any area in particular very quickly. They're going back and forth between a couple different places until they eventually do come to one spot in like it's nowhere really particularly remarkable. It's just a spot. You wouldn't have known to look anywhere. It's just, yeah, you can't really even see anything. There's just a small rock in the corner. Doesn't look like the other rocks though. It's sort of like this. I'm gonna say it's like a meteorite kind of thing.
So
I think that's it.
well, explain why we didn't find her. If that is her, we were looking at the lights.
can cheer
Queeweedles.
for Fallen Star.
Queeweedle's gonna kind of gesture for whoever wants to go to head on up.
Cole will go.
I think Queeweedle's gonna hang back. This was something that he wanted to do with Ernan. So he's kind of just gonna watch. Fran's gonna pat her up though, with their little notebook.
Yeah, Bartholomew will follow along with Cole and Fran.
I imagine Anemone is kind of already there, just because they followed their Firefly.
Yeah. Hello, Miss Fallen Star Lady. My name is Cole, and it's nice to meet you.
I think what you hear is this very soft humming. You don't hear it so much as feel it in your chest. It's very calm and peaceful, and you see the meteorite sort of shimmer a little as you feel this gentle humming.
Cole just smiles and is very happy.
Fran sits down and starts asking a million questions. You're just like, so, what's your name, and how do star names work, and do you tell us your names? Is that why we know what stars are called? And do we know what constellations are because you live in families? And they just sort of ramble on and on and on through all of those questions. And they don't really stop and listen until they've run out of breath after asking all of those questions. But it almost seems like they were more interested in asking than in hearing the answers. And you all see the meteorite sort of shimmer again.
I think, yeah, Bartholomew is just going to watch and is very, I think, enamored with Fran and all of their questions and their excitement. And is just going to let the two kids kind of lead the show on this one.
I think Cole gets very close to this meteor and sort of looks a little uncertain and then says, Can you give Bartholomew a message for me with the special rocks? Can you tell him that traveling with him is the most fun I've had so far?
You get this very soft, warm feeling like the star is happy for you, and then you get this little urge that you should just go tell him yourself.
Okay.
Fran leans in and says, I don't think that's what the star gives people, is messages from other people. I think the star gives people messages from themselves.
I don't have any messages to myself.
Maybe your message to yourself is that you should tell Bartholomew that you're having fun.
Okay. She will hop up and go over and tug on Bartholomew's cloak.
Hey, Cole. What's up?
She jams her hand into her belt pocket and takes out some candies and gives one to you and takes one and says, I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm
Because
glad.
we're traveling together and you're teaching me all these new things that I didn't know about, and thank you.
You're very welcome, Cole. You've taught me a lot of things as well.
Like, I have the Heavens Blade.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You do. And you're going to teach me a lot more about how that happened tomorrow.
Yes.
But for now, you're going to teach me to enjoy candy with a friend.
Yes, I can do that.
Do I unwrap this one? Or does it have a stick in it? Or because I remember one time I just chucked the whole thing in my mouth and you looked very concerned.
Yeah. No, this one doesn't have a stick in it. You take the paper off. You've got to take the paper off. But the trick is, if you want to make it last a little longer, you can lick the paper. When you're done, because it's got a little bit of the sweet on it. And then you pop it in your mouth, and you suck on it. It's very tasty. Don't bite on it because it's hard.
Crunch.
So Bartholomew will enjoy this candy, and I think he'll feed the paper to Wick. Who will burn it up.
Oh, that's cute.
And I feel like that's... I don't know. I feel like that's token worthy. I just want to give Casey a token for that.
I would say it also is too, because it's speak your true feelings on a subject.
I will take a second token then. Then I will also spend one, because I feel that was allowing someone to connect with me on a more personal level. So I'll get a token, but I'll spend one as well.
Solid. And as the night goes on, Queerweedle is still hanging back, just kind of watching. And you all see the lights shift and shimmer, and there are these little globules that sort of float around the various stones and everything. And you hear, and this time you actually hear it, that sort of soft melody coming from this fallen star sort of begin to waft through the hollow.
I think that really excites Dulcet. That melody. And yeah, I think they decide to leave Bartholomew and keep the fallen star company and dance to her tune, maybe amplify it as well.
Harmonize.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sad for Bartholomew. Seeing one of his friends go. But I think Cole's really helped him see, he can make new friends just as easily. And that, it's okay for friends to move on because you still have others. So I think he's sad but not devastated.
I think that's very token worthy, because one of us give someone something you hold dear. You're giving your your friend to this other creature. So I think that's very token worthy.
I agree.
I think so too.
I also think this could be considered like watching a tiny moment of beauty. So
Mm.
we could all be experiencing that.
Yeah, as Dulcet, yeah, like Scotty says, harmonizes with the Fallen Star Goddess's song. I feel like that's a tiny moment of beauty.
Yeah. I sure do like music. I think.
I like the idea that we just kind of spend the night here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like we don't take a time to go to bed. We just kind of like drift off to the sound of Dulcet and this other creature, and just sort of drift off at some point.
I like that.
I think at
me
some
too.
point, when Queerweedle thinks everybody else has fallen asleep, whether or not y'all actually all are asleep or not is another question. When he thinks everybody's fallen asleep, he's gonna sort of fish his scarf off his neck and pull out this necklace that he had been wearing tucked under his shirt. And he's gonna walk over to the meteorite and say, "Oh, I wasn't planning on coming back here without it on. We were gonna try and find you way back when, but well," and he's gonna leave behind the necklace before he heads back down a ways and settles down to sort of lean back against his pack and chill.
I think the hillock asks you, maybe through the Fallen Star Goddess, what are you worried lies up ahead?
And Queerweedle is going to just sort of tuck his hands behind his head as he stares up at the sky and say, "I can't decide if I'm more worried about the prospect of settling down and never traveling again, or worried I won't ever be able to stop traveling." He's sort of saying it up at the skies more than to anyone, just real quiet.
And yeah, we've played through a single day.
We did great.
We started at lunchtime, so it's like half a day.
Yeah.
We did
Yep.
great.
I like it though.
And we spent a good 3 hours on the game itself, building up the world and figuring out what's around us. And I don't know, I think this lovely night among the Fallen Stars stories is a good stopping point. We're
I
not
agree.
done. Nobody's done with their journey,
Oh no.
but we've reached a sort of point of comfort.
I would totally love to do this again.
Yeah,
So,
I would
Yeah,
really
me
love to
too.
play more of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These same characters, like
As
Yeah.
soon as I started looking through the whole book, I was like, oh my god, I need to play a long campaign of this. Like, this
I
is
would love to.
definitely a long campaign.
And
kind
I
of.
think we could really
Yeah.
easily pick up
Oh
this
yeah.
story and these characters again really easily, just because like we've got so many threads still in this area, and we've got a couple of places that people are trying to get to. So
I didn't even bring up Anemone's stuff. Like, I knew you guys had a whole bunch of other stuff,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm just gonna let them do it. If we need it, I can bring up Anemone's stuff, but
yeah, I was
Yeah,
really
it's
kind of
just-
expecting us to be like, okay, we don't really know what we're doing, so let's just deal with Fran getting to the Myremerk Swamp. And
That's
then we did all
what
of
I
this
thought.
instead, which, like, I'm so here for. I loved all of this.
That
There's
was
just
so
so much to draw from.
None of this
Great.
was planned before we went in. It was just like it all happened because of what we made at the very beginning of the session. It was
Yeah,
great.
there's so many
magic.
fun little story threads just from setting up your world with all of the natures. So this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this.
This
Um,
was-
Yeah,
Thank you all so much for the game.
yeah. Thanks,
Um,
J Dragon, for writing it.
Yes, like
Yeah.
holy shit, J Dragon, this game is amazing. I cannot wait to play more of it. I
Seriously.
can't wait for the finished material to be, I would say, in like I'm holding my hands up as though I'm gonna have a physical copy. I backed for a PDF. But yeah, I can't wait to have access to the final versions and play more of this game. Explore
Yeah.
more of, I don't know, maybe these characters, maybe new characters, who knows? Might do another fun Everyone Dice one shot of Wanderhome sometime down the line.
For sure.
Mm. Yeah, let us know if that's something you'd be interested in.
Definitely, yeah.
And we, like we said at the beginning, this is going to be the first of many indie TTRPG one-shots. We have at least one more in the works right now, and we're constantly looking out for others that we can plug, especially those that are on Kickstarter or are actively, like, building up, you know, a base.
For sure,
Make sure you check out our Discord server. Consider subscribing to us on Twitch if you enjoyed this and want to support us. Follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube. We are working on hitting a 100 subscriber goal. I think we have 45 or 46 right now. As soon as we hit 100, we get a custom URL, and we are going to give away a set of custom dice made by AJ. Casey, you're pointing the wrong direction.
Am I?
You are.
I will have a picture of them soon. I'm spending a lot of time this weekend working on dice and various dice projects, so
Yeah.
I should have a picture soon.
We're really excited about that giveaway. But yeah, just come interact with us in all of our various places. This video will be going up on our YouTube probably sometime next week. I want to say Monday or Tuesday. I will get it edited and sorted out.
I can do the editing, Scotty.
Don't forget to check out J Dragon's Kickstarter.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
look at the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I'm
Now that
gonna
you've
drop
seen
the
it
link in
well.
here again.
Now that you've
Yeah.
seen it played and know how utterly delightful it is,
It's just cute and fun and
Go back.
And we
sweet.
played just like 4 of the playbooks. There
There
are
are
so many more.
Mhm.
there are a bunch still. Like there's a bunch that aren't even included in the.
I was this close to playing a veteran instead of a moth tender.
Yeah, I have a veteran in mind as well, but I figured since we were going for a more pastoral, slightly more lighthearted game, I was like, I don't know if veteran who's like war weary is
Yeah,
a great.
You can sort of tell that Queelweedle was originally going to be a veteran, and then I went, nah, he's just a tired adventurer. Yeah, so this will be going up on YouTube soon. We've got our main campaign, Everyone Dice, DM'd by Casey, up on YouTube. The newest episode went up today. We've also got All-Nighters on YouTube. The last episode still needs to be uploaded there. And Casey and I will be doing All-Nighters tonight in 3 hours. A little less than. So that'll be fun.
plenty of time for you guys to take a nap.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
gonna decompress
Go find a
and
lake.
yeah,
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
be fine.
Nap.
I mean, this was a really nice, like, relaxing game. So, like,
It really was.
yeah.
Yeah, often when I play like a long, 3-hour, what have you, session of a tabletop, I feel like kind of exhausted by the end of it because you're putting in a lot. Often I'm GMing even, but it just felt really chill and nice, and I don't feel any of that.
It did.
This was soft and fun. I really enjoyed this game. So yeah, if you liked Wanderhome, and I'm sure you did, go check it out on Kickstarter. We will see you all soon. Take care
Yeah.
of each other.
Take care of each
Drink
other.
water, wear a mask, wash your hands.
Alright, I am going to go ahead and take us off of stream.